Hello everyone, this is another level design video. This is a challenge to make a stage that is about planes and getting these red balls that are the objective balls, and of course to create some obstacles and to create some ways to control player movement in a multiplayer fashion. So I went to go ahead and created a rough draft, creating some kind of a funnel design, and then obviously the blocks coming after that, kind of a little bit of racing involved. So this is my first stage. The first stage was a prototype stage, and I was like, all right, let me go ahead and see what if the design includes falling objects and the players would have to dodge it as airplanes. But in this iteration, it was not usable, it was not fun, and quickly abandoned that idea for the next level design. For this next design, it's a static stage, no falling objects this time. Definitely putting the center object as a first point where you get the objective. Whoever gets it first, obviously that point goes away. So the players would have to race to this first point, grab that first one, and then of course pull up and then pull back down, kind of like a sort of a wave type motion, right? And they'll have to go back down, they have to dive down. So I'm trying to avoid too much excessive left or right motion to accommodate for the mechanics behind this game. And now this final part is inspired by like movies and televisions where the protagonist in an airplane has to turn the plane 90 degrees to get through all these obstacles and be successful. And that's what I was hoping to go for this design. And then it was good, but it wasn't exactly to my liking. So I went back to the drawing board to find out, okay, how can I make this more exciting or something to inspire me? Now for this stage, I leaned into the bit of, oh, I like canyon flying. Why don't we just make a canyon? And then that's what I went ahead and tried to do. Arting it up definitely helps with the inspiration process, with the creation process, definitely for the prototyping process. Like, okay, let me just put a few assets in here to see how would it look when you're flying through this, preferably at a higher speed. But overall, you'd get the feeling and the sense from flying through all of this that you may want to even create further or go further with this or develop the idea more. I really like this stage just because it shows that you use only a handful of assets, and I just repeated that asset throughout the stage, and it just looked great. And then of course this final bit here, it still contains that final funnel design where you're pushing the player towards a central objective, in the final part of this reflects that design. For my final stage, I pivoted really hard. I got away from that canyon idea. I left it behind. I was no longer married to it, but I wanted to go ahead and incorporate a new idea. What if you were flying through a house and you're like a small plane within this house, but the house itself is haunted, you know? There's eerie lightning in there. There's clouds in there. You have no sense of what is right side up or upside down, and I wanted to give that cool little eerie feeling in this game, you know, as a mood that I wanted my players to have while racing in this place. It's like, whoa, it's different, it's unique, right? And I hope that when you get to this point of this stage, you know, you see the coffin, the crib, and then all of a sudden you see this really creepy looking bear head, right? All of this hopefully leads to the theme of a haunted house, something just off about it. And the final part of this was all these assets and the way they're pointed towards the final point. And thank you for taking the time to check this out. Let me know if you have any questions.